Hey guys, Big J here from the Centre Bounce. Hopefully you guys are doing great. I'm going to do something a little bit differently today, going through my final trades for the week. Obviously you guys saw my video on Monday, saw my stuff throughout the week. Hey, these are my final trades and we'll go over the Thursday night games too. So maybe we'll do a Thursday, something into Saturday, potentially even a Sunday, considering we can't do stuff, team reviews and stuff on the Sunday. Going to go through my thoughts, guys, that I think maybe are worth bringing in and the ones that aren't. Stay tuned. So without further ado, let's check out my team. So originally, it's funnily enough, I've heard a good quote this morning saying, hey, don't rush into things. Don't do different things. Usually, and this is what killed me last week too, usually the trades you do on the Sunday when Supercoach opens, let's pretend Monday as well for you guys that aren't nutty like me, who stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning when Supercoach opens overnight. It's those trades that end up being the best trades because you don't have a week's worth of nonsense to try and figure things out. This week, I did bring NICK DAICOS in. I did bring Zachy Merritt in and Tom Gross, who... unfortunately, his partner in crime, Clay Hall, wasn't named, which even made it, made it more worthy for me to bring him in. But yeah, NICK DAICOS brought in. The kind of thought between that was, if you look at my team, I don't have any boosts left. Cool. I want to make the most out of it. Not originally. I got somewhat convinced to bring in Horn Francis back in, to bring Rosie back in as well. And I had some money left over. But they're two players, at least for the next week and probably a couple of weeks after, that are still gettable for me to get in without having to go and pay exorbitant prices to do that. There's no way I could get NICK DAICOS now. I mean, we'll talk about his scoring soon, but there's no way I could have got NICK DAICOS at 600k plus, excuse me, without spending multiple trades to be able to do it. There's no way I could get Zachy Merritt in at like 620, 630k without doing similar things as well. So I was like, cool. Let's try and do that. Let's try and make it worthwhile. We've got this limited resource that allows me to fix my team and get in two more players. So over the last week or over the last 2 weeks, I've got one top 8 player. I've now got 2 top 8 players, and now I've got 3 top 8 players. The rest is slowly figuring itself out. Most likely going to have to trade Chera and Oliver at some point. Potentially Dawson becomes M8. Okay. But at least now I've locked in these 3. Versus if I had Rosie there, he doesn't get DPP. The halfback role's fantastic, don't get me wrong. But if he doesn't get DPP, I'm stuck. I'm like, what do I do? Like, I've got this player that I've now traded out, traded back in, and potentially have to trade out again. Horn Francis, similar to the forward line. I think he's going to be top 10, or he's definitely going to be top 6. But right now, Ashcroft just popped off a 90. Pal Pepper, I've got looped with Kako. Kako plays West Coast. Pal Pepper's had, 2 scores close to 100. I'm okay with having this at the moment. These are my best rookies on field. This is the potential that I have with the team. So just kind of think yourself a little bit with that. The guys that, hey, are going to be, trading your last boost, similar to myself, where make the most of it because it's worthwhile in your team. There definitely are a few other trade options coming up. But I think as well, I've had really good success with captains over the last few weeks. I mean, TDK first. I think Jack McRae's been my lowest captain this year with a 120. And that week, he ended up being my highest score on field anyway. It was just a monster week, maybe around 3 or 4. So being able to bring in a Zachy Merritt. I mean, everyone can say, Big J, you brought in NICK DAICOS, you should have captained him for the 170. Cool. Okay. But Zachy Merritt versus West Coast should be a cakewalk. If that doesn't happen, I've got Brayshaw versus Freo. Yeah, it should. I've got some backups there, and bringing in those more expensive players when I could have definitely helps out with doing that. I mean, if I had gone and captained someone like Rosie or Horn Francis, I mean, Sydney have got 2 taggers that they run, so it's a tricky one, right? Gold Coast would be another one as well. You could bring someone in, basically whoever's playing West Coast or Melbourne's midfield at the moment, like get them in because they're going to score well in Supercoach. And we've seen that the last few weeks. There's a few players that I was considering as well, bringing in Horn Francis, Rosie, as we spoke about. I got rid of Roberts in the back line, got rid of Thilthorpe. Don't know why I ever brought him in. It was stupid. Cool, I'll take that. I spent 2 trades to get him in and out of my side. We've got 40. It's okay. The overall team looks a lot better because of it as well. Roberts allowed me to field Trainer and Reed this week, which I think hopefully both of them end up scoring a little bit higher than their projectors of 58 and 65. Heck, if they both get close to 80, we could be pushing a 23.50 this week, which would be very, very nice considering we're trying to jump up the ranks instead of go down. I was considering a Dunkley, a Neil, a few of these other players who, hey, it's just the way they went. And now Dunkley is very, very. What did he score this week? We'll have a look at it next. But Dunkley did have a break even of 144, and now he's scored like a 90. So Dunkley is going to be sub 500k very quickly. If you didn't bring him in, you're working out okay. Let's check out the game. Lockie Neal, highest scorer for Brisbane. I would have loved for him to be under 100 Supercoach. Just one of those pod picks. Like, I know my player did well, but it's always nice when the players you don't have do well. So when the players you don't have don't do well, not the other way around. Like, I'm not praying Will Ashcroft does well. Lockie Neal 113. Got a lot of ball in the last 5 minutes or so. A few kicks back and forward, back and forward. You could see what he was trying to do, kind of show off his skills and drive the ball forward a little bit. It didn't exactly work out that much. Answorth, no one really cares about. Moving down the list, Levi Ashcroft. I mean, I didn't even start this guy. I brought him into my team, and he's been fantastic. Almost like an underused, underprivileged. No, what's the word? Kind of like a submarine primo, if that makes sense. Like, guys, like, hey, if your primo scores poorly, that's what Ashcroft has been scoring as his score for the past few weeks. So I'm more than happy to hold this guy. Like, I might hold Ashcroft till the Brisbane bye. Like, I don't have many rookies that I can say that I'm happy to do that, but Ashcroft could definitely be that type of player for me. James Tunstall is one to look out for as well over the next couple of weeks. Let me see. James Tunstall, mid-forward, 119k. He has scored, let me quickly check, seasons to date. So scored 7 points against Gold Coast. I guess he was sub or subbed out. Didn't really take notice of the game, but now has scored an 88. So depending on how he goes next week, you know, a few of us bringing in Carroll, potentially Sard next week, Tunstall the week after at, 130k because of the 7. Could definitely be a bit of a shout out there. Moving down the list, Josh Dunkley, just a rotten game. If you're watching, ended up going on DAICOS for periods of time. They're just tough, man. Collingwood's just tough. They won't give you an inch, and their defensive work is crazy good. So they just got the ball and then they just took it. And Josh Dunkley couldn't really accumulate, hence the 21 disposals at 66%. Like, he got tackled. Man, if he didn't get that free kick, he would be on like 75. The disposal efficiency killed him, obviously. 97 Supercoach would have been a lot better than 83. So he will drop in price, looking at sub 500k Dunkley over the next couple of weeks. His break even could be close to 160 this week. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun for those that don't own him. Hugh McCluggage definitely dropped from the skies, what was averaging 120 or something, and now scored an 80, similar to a lot of these Brisbane players. They just got nullified. Few people had the vice captain on Dane Zorko. Sorry, Hippo. If you're watching, it is a rough situation to be in, but I think you'll be okay. He gave away a couple of really stupid free kicks. One for Descent, where then he ended up on the bench and was looking like he was crying because I think Chris Fagan told him to pull his head in. There was another one there that was like a push or a block or something. It's not worth it. So he'll be back to his best. I actually thought he was on 75 or something and must have got scaled down. So everyone's got Zorko. The 70 doesn't matter too much. Will Ashcroft is definitely one to worry about. Funnily enough, I spoke to some guys last night and they were like, yeah, Thilthorpe, not so bad. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I was going to bring in Will Ashcroft instead of Thilthorpe last week, which means I would have got stuck with the 43 instead of the DAICOS 172. So it's weird how Supercoach works out sometimes. I don't know. Sam Marshall, potentially one to watch for, but I would rather go Tunstall instead. Was made the sub. Came on in the 4th. Didn't look terrible. I mean, he got a few more disposals compared to some of these other guys, but if he's second string, he's second string, and that's not what we want. So I'd rather like this player instead, who playing wingman. So there you go. Brisbane, just a bad game. Bit disappointing. Gabba was definitely supposed to be their home away from home, and obviously that's struggled with them right now. Heading over to the Magpies, Nick Daicos, what a gun. Now, I've seen a few shows this morning, last night, talking about Daicos. Why didn't he get tagged and whatnot? He basically did. Like, there was a run with player with him. A lot of his balls were like, hey, we're transitioning up the field. I'm hiding behind the guy that's on the mark. Cool, I'll kick it. I'll run a little bit. I'll do that kind of stuff. It wasn't like he was dominating, running through the middle, doing all these things. It's almost like a sustainable role for him if he gets the tag. Similar to what happened with James Jordan last week, sorry. People say the tag didn't work. I'm like, if you actually watch the game, he got the disposals, but he had the run with player for periods of time. Nick Daicos, similar thing. He would get the ball from the middle. Like some transitions in the middle, he got tackled. Cool. But he got the ball from the middle. He was there. He would just quickly handball it off, quickly pass it off. I mean, I'm not saying a 170 is feasible, but he can fight through the tag pretty well, man. It's you would need someone really special, and for Collingwood to have a few more outs, because you can't just focus Nick Daicos in this team. You've got Ned Long now. Shout out to Supercoach God from the review crew. Obviously, he does his own stuff. Kind of went massive on Ned Long. 96, very happy there. But if you look at the team, like there's multiple players in this team that if you don't mark, you're going to be punished, and that's what makes Nick Daicos so beautiful. Because one bad game from him means that still side bottom now goes 150. Means that Pendlebury now has a big game. Means that Lipinski probably has a big game. Means that a few of these other players who play midfield have now gone big, which isn't great. So they try and focus like everybody, which means that someone like a Daicos can come through. So should be around the 607, 610 mark next week. Definitely worth a look in if you haven't got him already. 120 a break even from him this week. I was a little bit scared, but obviously it's worked out quite well. Josh Daicos, if you had him, fantastic. Ned Long, 96. I don't mind it. He will be about 330K, was 280K last week. He's turned up 3 weeks in a row. So definitely worth a shout in if you don't have enough money for someone else. I think the role is very good. Just a really good contested type player, someone who was really clean. I mean, he's got 66% disposal efficiency, but it didn't look like that on the game, to be honest. It was maybe that a lot of that occurred in the first half. Someone said he was on like 5 at quarter time, and to go up to 96 is pretty amazing. So yeah, definitely worth a look in. We can talk about him more throughout the week. Supercoach relevant players moving down the list. There probably isn't too many. I mean, if you still have Perryman in your side, okay. That's about it, really. Ed Allen got shafted, 18. And then, I think Darcy Moore will be okay. Copped a knee to the head, was a little bit of blood coming from his ear. This was fourth quarter stuff, so I think he'll be okay. Just, Nick Daicos, if you don't have him, grab him. Ned Long, Nick Daicos will probably be unobtainable in 2 weeks, so we'll be close to 650K. Get him while you can. Ned Long, definitely worth it still at 330K. Shout out to Supercoach God. If you bring him into your team, go let him know. That's probably it from Collingwood. And then over to Brisbane. Neil, okay, I think he's going to be around that 560, 580 mark. Doable, but the one I'm waiting for is Josh Dunkley at scoring 83. Hopefully we can get him at sub 500K. Should have a super high break even over the next 2 weeks. Dane Zorko, don't need to worry too much. He'll be back to his best soon. Gave away a couple of stupid frees and clangers, and a little bit worrying though that what is his name? Harris Andrews did take a few kick-ins, so it's something to worry about. We'll have a look at it on Monday review queue, and then Will Ashcroft probably getting used to wanting to trade him now. 450K player is now going to be 550K or around that mark. Could straight swap to a Dunkley if you really wanted to, but I think he's going to be tapped out soon. So one to definitely look for. Consider trading in your sides. guys, let me know what you think. Bit of a quick video on your Friday mornings. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Happy Good Friday for those who celebrate as well. Long week of Supercoach. Review crew on Monday night. Heck, we might even have to push it back to the Tuesday. We'll see what happens because there is a Friday night. Sorry, because there is a Monday night game. It goes from Thursday to Monday this week, so it's a bit rough. We'll get a couple more contents throughout the week. Let me know down in the comments, did you guys bring Daicos in? What's your plans for him? Please don't neck yourself. Please be like, hey, the trades that I brought into my team are the ones that I want. So that's why I brought them in. Have a great holidays, guys. Have a great break. We get Friday off and Monday off. It's a lot of fun. Have a good one.